Violet hadn't planned on making a grand entrance onto the track field, especially not like this. Screaming would only make things worse. Not that it mattered much. Being slung over Asher's shoulder like a sack of potatoes had already drawn way too much attention. She was a walking, talking spectacle, and she could feel hundreds of eyes burning into her. At least she managed to go limp, dangling there like she'd been forced into this ridiculous position. It would be a total disaster if anyone thought she actually enjoyed being hauled around by a psycho, like some prehistoric trophy wife. And thank goodness she was wearing pants. The memory of that creepy guy commenting on her video about what was under her clothes still made her shudder. But even playing dead didn't help. The other students' eyes widened as they took in the scene, and then, of course, they whipped out their phones and started filming, their laughter echoing across the field. Fantastic. She was about to go viral on Newsfeed again. Glancing around, Violet noticed everyone was decked out in their team jerseys, each one sporting their dorm colors. West Dormitory, as always, looked sharp in their black and green being Lunaris Academy's official color. The other dorms followed suit with their own variations. East Dormitory in red and green, South Dormitory in orange and green, and North Dormitory in blue and green. As much as Violet hated Asher, she had to admit West Dormitory rocked their colors best. But she'd never tell him that. Never. Scanning the crowd, her eyes locked with Autumn's. Or was it Summer? Violet could never keep track of which name the pure-blooded werewolf preferred. Either way, the murderous look in her eyes made Violet shiver. It wasn't hard to figure out why. Autumn clearly didn't want her anywhere near Asher. Wait a second. Was Asher hers? Oh, thank heavens. Freedom was finally within reach. Why was Autumn just standing there? Come and get your man! Violet didn't care if Autumn branded her a boyfriend-stealing hussy. She just wanted to be rid of Asher. This was her only prayer. But it didn't happen. Autumn just kept glaring until Asher carried Violet out of sight. No! Violet wailed internally. For a glorious moment, she tasted freedom, but it was a mirage. Suddenly, Asher dumped her unceremoniously in front of a man. A smug grin plastered across his face. Caught one of the runners, Coach. Coach? Good job, Asher, Coach Jones said, clapping him on the shoulder. We can't have any more of these humans skipping out on training. Violet almost lost it. The nerve of this guy. Making it seem like she'd try to ditch practice when it was totally his fault. She jumped to her feet, glaring at Asher, who just grinned back, his eyes hidden behind his shades. He knew exactly what he'd pulled. Her gaze then flicked to the coach. This guy was tall, with broad shoulders and ripped muscles. He looked like a statue, and way younger than she'd pictured a coach. Definitely a werewolf. No human could look that good. Join the others, Miss Purple, Coach Jones said, his voice a little sharp. And don't even think about running off again. There'll be enough points deducted and punishments to make you regret it. Violet bristled. She shot Asher one last glare, which just made him laugh as he strolled off to join his buddies. She was fuming. This wasn't over. Violet! Alice popped up beside her, looking worried. You okay? Just peachy, Violet muttered, her lips pressed tight. Oh, she was going to get him back for this. Asher might have won this round, but she'd get her revenge. Then Violet really looked around the field. Whoa, this place was huge. Different stations were set up for all kinds of activities. A crazy obstacle course with giant walls and swinging ropes, a high-tech climbing wall with moving panels, and a bunch of other stuff she couldn't even name. And then she saw it. A whole section roped off with banners that read, Advanced Training Area. That's where Asher was hanging out with the other werewolves. Violet scoffed. For a second, she'd thought maybe this place would be different. that the usual pecking order wouldn't matter. Guess she was wrong. "Must be her lucky day. Even Alpha Roman's here," Alice said, looking over at the green-haired Alpha. Roman was laughing at something a girl, who was practically draped all over him, had said. Lost in thought, Violet completely missed what Coach Jones had said, until some girl jabbed her in the ribs. "Move it, purple head! Stop zoning out!" the girl snapped. Violet sighed. Some people never learn, do they? "Hurry up! Move it! Move it!" Coach Jones's urgent voice pushed Violet and the other students toward the track. Humans and werewolves stood shoulder to shoulder. The werewolves were totally chill and super confident, while the humans nervously glanced at each other. Even Alice, usually bubbly and energetic, hadn't said a word since they got there, which freaked Violet out. What was this exercise all about? When everyone was finally gathered, Coach Jones looked pleased and announced, "Alphas, take over!" Wait, what? Violet's head practically spun around. What the heck was going on? Before she could process anything, Asher and Roman stepped forward, both with evil grins. Whatever they were planning, it wasn't good. Would the coach really just let these guys take over his class? Seriously? Apparently, yes. Violet's eyes almost bugged out as she watched Coach Jones settle into a folding chair, legs crossed, a big umbrella shielding him from the sun. He sipped a cold drink from the table beside him, looking like he was on vacation, not running a training session. What in the world? She looked away for 2 seconds, and he was already lounging. What was happening? And so it begins. Alice finally spoke, breaking the silence. "What begins?" Violet asked, a knot forming in her stomach. "They're games. We're basically entertainment. You'll see." "You knew?" Violet was stunned. "You knew all this and didn't say anything?" Alice frowned. "I thought you didn't like when I talked too much." Violet wanted to scream. "Not when it's important information," she whisper yelled. "A little heads up would have been nice. Maybe then I would have skipped training." "Trust me, you can't skip this," Alice said quietly. "They make sure everyone's here for this." "Listen up, everybody." Asher's voice boomed, easily grabbing their attention. "Just like our last date," he said, glancing at Violet. "We're here to help the coach out by teaching his class. By the end of this lesson, you can bet we'll make something out of you." That something was exactly what Violet was afraid of. The way Asher's eyes gleamed with mischief made her heart race. Even Roman, usually playful, was all serious now. He stepped forward, his expression cold and calculating as he scanned the crowd. "Fresh meat! Step away from your better halves right now," he ordered. Violet was confused for a second. Then she saw 2 groups starting to form. Before she could decide where to go, she noticed Alice moving and instinctively followed. Her friend had been at the school longer, so she clearly knew the drill. Seeing Violet's confused look, Alice quietly explained. "Fresh meat means the scholarship kids and anyone new this semester. Basically, all the newbies. The better halves are mostly the elite students who've been at Lunaris Academy since freshman or sophomore year." Violet glanced around. Alice wasn't kidding. The fresh meat group was mostly new students, both human and werewolf. At least everyone was being treated equally, sort of. There weren't any top-ranked students in their group, though. Violet figured the elite students were probably exempt from whatever Asher and Roman had planned. Slowly, Violet started backing away, her heart pounding. She hoped to escape without being noticed. Taking small steps, she cautiously edged toward the elite group. Just a little further, and I'm home free. Suddenly, she bumped into a solid wall of muscle. Her heart skipped a beat. Even without turning around, she knew exactly who it was. that dark, spicy scent. Her body went rigid. Violet hadn't planned on playing this card, but she was out of options. Forcing a sweet smile, she turned to face Asher, trying to hide her nerves. I'm ranked pretty high. I don't have to do this, right? Yes, you are, Asher said, nodding thoughtfully, making her heart leap with hope. Yes, I'm safe. But then Asher grinned. But, unfortunately, you're still fresh meat. He flashed his canines, and before Violet could react, he shoved her back in line. Laughter erupted from the elite group, loud and mocking. Violet felt herself blushing, just when she thought he might actually be decent. Now listen up! Asher barked, his voice booming across the field. Silence fell instantly. He continued, his eyes scanning the crowd. Today's lesson is about pushing your limits. We don't care if you're human or a werewolf. Everyone's equal in this training. You're not at Lunaris just to study and have a cushy life. We're the best of the best, and you have to prove you deserve to be here. So for warm-up, 10 laps around the track. What? The fresh meat group erupted in disbelief, especially the humans. The murmurs of shock quickly turned to protest. This was an Olympic-sized track. 10 laps for a warm-up? That was insane. They were going to die. The protests grew louder, but Asher shut them down fast. He half-shifted, his face changing into something feral. His lips peeled back, baring his sharp teeth, and he let out a deafening howl that echoed across the field. Panic spread like wildfire. The protests stopped. Everyone started running as fast as they could away from the beast behind them.
To listen to the full audio series, install the Pocket FM app now.